mishandle herself in any way, and so really it is my very great pleasure to introduce the next senator from Arizona, Kelli Ward, if she's ready. You can bring your drink up here. I've got mine over here, so, but thank you.
Hi, everybody. I made it.
Thank you so very much.
That was an awesome introduction. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see so many smiling faces. Most of you I know, but not everyone. So I will introduce myself. I'm Dr. Kelli Ward. I am a military wife. I'm the mom of 3 awesome kids. I'm a family physician, but just work in the emergency department now up in Kingman. I'm a former Arizona State Senator, and I happen to be running for the United States Senate. Where is the speaker? Because I want to stay away from it. Yeah, thank you. Oh, perfect. That's much better. And so I am glad to see so many of your smiling faces here tonight. And I hope that you are here because, like me, you are ready for Arizona to have a new BFF. And I don't mean a best friend forever. I mean a bold, fresh, fearless voice representing you in Washington, D.C. And I can be that voice. Now, I do want to know, does anybody think that Washington, D.C. is working? And this is what I get in every crowd, no matter if it's a Tea Party, no matter if it's a group of millennials, no matter if it's a Rotary Club, no matter who I'm speaking to, they tell me that they don't think Washington's working, and I agree. It's not working. It can't. You think it's working?
It's just working in the wrong direction.
Yes, and for the wrong people. For the wrong people. Yeah, you're right. Oh my goodness, let's hope not. Let's hope not, because I don't think it's working. I don't think it can innovate. I don't think it can get out of its own way. And I am running to change Washington, D.C. But every single one of us in this room knows we can't change Washington unless we change the people we send there. And unfortunately, almost 40 years in Washington have changed Senator McCain. If it weren't the case, I wouldn't be taking on this challenge. I wouldn't be putting myself and my family through the wood chipper that politics has become. I used to say the ringer, but the ringer is just uncomfortable, probably, to go through. You know, you come out a little stiff, a little dry, but you're still in one piece. The people who are in power in Washington, D.C., the insiders really have made the political process quite a wood chipper, where they're trying to actually destroy little pieces of people who would dare to stand up against them, chopping away at their honesty, chopping away at their integrity, chopping away at their character. It's no wonder that most normal people would never put themselves through this. And just like during the introduction, I mean, people would think, why are you crazy to take on something like this? Well, I will tell you that while I have all the respect in the world for Senator McCain and what he went through as a POW, his service to our country, he simply is not the conservative he claims to be. He simply isn't the Republican he claims to be, especially at campaign time. And so, respectfully, I think it's time for me and all of us to retire Senator McCain. Now, in case you have forgotten about Senator McCain's record, because he certainly isn't putting a lot of ads out about his stellar performance in Washington, D.C. He's spent millions of dollars through his own campaign and through his super PAC, the Arizona Grassroots Action PAC, that has nothing to do with Arizona or grassroots, not funded out of Arizona, funded mainly out of the Beltway by big money people who have funded other things like the McCain Institute, the Clinton Foundation, Barack Obama's campaign donors. So those are the kind of people who are funding that abysmal, deceitful organization who comes out and attacks me every day. I'm just going to give you a little bit of straight talk about Senator McCain's very own record. In just the last few years, he's voted for tax hikes, for bailouts, for massive new spending, for amnesty, for liberal judges. He's mocked the very conservatives who have wanted to do everything in their power to stop Obamacare. calling Senator Cruz and Senator Paul and Senator Lee wacko birds. He's voted 21 times to increase the debt ceiling. He supports policies that bend the Constitution. And you know, if you bend something enough, it breaks. He's joined with the Democrats again and again and again to infringe on our Second Amendment rights. He's perfectly fine with policies that allow the federal government to spy on law-abiding American citizens without a warrant. And as our elected representative, he refused to go the distance and consider shutting down the government in order to defund Planned Parenthood, even after that organization was exposed for harvesting and selling baby body parts. The policy issues that I have with Senator McCain go on and on and on. Politically, there are a few things, too, that bother me, and maybe they bother you. A lot of the Democrats love Senator McCain, you know, because he's known as the Maverick. Now, I have been known to call him the Maverick of mediocrity because he has been pretty mediocre over the last several years, because he moves to the left, and he moves to the left, and he moves to the left. He delivers a few Republican votes to the Democrats, and we, the people, get stuck with liberal progressive policies that we don't want. And, you know, so those kinds of things are going to have to stop. Chuck Schumer, the head of the Democrats, he was asked, who do you go to if you want to get something accomplished on the other side of the aisle? Who helps you? And he said Lindsey Graham and John McCain. Two peas in a pod, do you all agree? Bernie Sanders, too, was asked during one of the Democrat forums. Now, there have been some attack ads that show my face with Bernie Sanders and Raul Grijalva. Now, any fifth grader knows that an Arizona state senator cannot vote in the United States Senate and in the United States Congress while serving in Phoenix, Arizona. But John McCain would like you to think that I'm right there with Bernie and Raul, because somehow he's trying to imply that I'm some kind of liberal. But Bernie was asked, who do you go to across the aisle? The only guy that's in this race that has actually ever voted with Bernie Sanders. He named John McCain. And also John McCain, down in Phoenix, was given an interview to the paper down in Tucson. He said that he was actually feeling the burn, John McCain. And I said, as a doctor, we've got a cream for that. We will treat the burn. We will treat the burn. You know, and I think that probably the most telling of all is that Hillary Clinton, again and again and again, names John McCain as her favorite Republican. I will promise you right now, at this tea party, send me to Washington, D.C., and Hillary will never name me as her favorite Republican. Never. Now, you know, this is going to be a very tough battle. We've been waging it. There's less than 3 weeks left now. It's unbelievable. It's going to take people just like you. It's going to take money, yours, not just like yours, actually yours. We do have donation forms right in the back before you all leave. It's going to take blood, sweat, and tears, really, to be able to do this. It is a David and Goliath endeavor. But guess what? David won that one, and we can too, because the stakes are too high for us to sit idly by. As a physician, I have seen the ravages that Obamacare has had on our healthcare system. Premiums and deductibles are sky high. The ER where I work it's overwhelmed and overcrowded. We need a conservative champion for doctors and patients in Washington. I will be that champion. As an Arizona state senator, I fought against endless spending. I worked to reform welfare, and I said no to bloated budgets and higher taxes, even when it wasn't popular. Senator McCain, on the other hand, has been in Washington, D.C. for about $17.5 trillion of the almost $20 trillion we're in debt. We need a fiscally conservative champion for the taxpayer in Washington, and I will be that champion. Thank you. As an Arizonan, like all of us, I've seen the toll that illegal immigration and our wide open border have had on every aspect of our society, from healthcare to education to public safety and corrections, to the economy, to our very American culture. It's got to stop. I, for one, am ready to mix the mortar to fix the border. Are you? Yeah. All right. And as a military wife, my husband Mike and I have been married for 21 years. Mike, wave. See, Mike's in the back. He's been in the military for 32. He's still in the military now. He's in the Air National Guard, serving as our state air surgeon. And as a military wife, I've learned a lot of things. I've learned the importance of keeping promises to our veterans and making sure that we take care of them once their service ends. And we're falling down on the job, on the watch of the most well-known veteran in our country. I've learned the importance of taking care of our active duty men and women and making sure that they have the resources that they need so that mothers are not trying to send vests in to protect them, that we aren't salvaging from museums and boneyards to get the equipment up to speed to be able to work to fight in the conflicts where we are engaged. I've learned that we need to have somebody that's a champion for our Guard and Reserve, because we need to be nimble and flexible and ready should we have to go to war. And we in Arizona need a champion for our military assets, our bases, and our A-10. And if you all haven't researched the A-10, I will tell you I was very lucky. I got to go down to Tucson to DM and see the A-10 and fly in the simulator. And I did not crash, but they did let me park in the air. So that was a plus for me. I got to sit up in the cockpit and feel the power of that amazing machine. That machine is made for fighting ISIS. Okay, it's got the ammunition, the technology, the accuracy, and just the power. The sound of that thing scares away our enemies. And so to think that our military is contemplating getting rid of it, it also is economical to fly. The F-35 may be a great airframe, but it's not going to be ready to go for about a decade. I don't think it's going. I mean, I'm no great military expert, but I think it's going to take time before it's ready, and it's going to cost a lot of money. So we have to fight fiercely for that A-10 to remain our ISIS fighter, and so that we can win against ISIS. And so we need. Thank you. We need a champion for our veterans, we need a champion for our military, we need a champion for our Guard and Reserve, and we need a champion for our Arizona military assets. I will be that champion. And as a mom, thank you, of those 3 awesome kids, Katie, Cameron, and Nick, I never want them to say that I did not do everything in my power to maintain the liberty and the freedom that make this country so great. So those are a few reasons why I'm running for the United States Senate. But I'm also running for you, because Arizona deserves a Republican senator that represents their values, our values. We deserve more than broken promises in Washington speak. So I hope you will join with me and tens of thousands of our fellow Arizonans and send your BFF to Washington. Yes, your friend, because everybody deserves a friend in Washington, not just the rich, not just the powerful, not just the well-connected, not just the people who have a lobbyist that make the government work for them rather than for us, all of us, but also your bold, fresh, fearless voice that listens to you, and then speaks up and works effectively on your behalf in Washington, D.C. I want to see AZ in D.C., not D.C. in AZ. So join with me, because together we can win. We are winning. We are doing amazingly well in the polls and in this fight. We can change the status quo. We can give John McCain the best 80th birthday present ever. We can retire him, and we can make Washington, D.C. something that works for us. I thank you, and I welcome questions. Thank you, thank you.
Can we see this presentation you just did on YouTube?
Possibly. Michael Patrick Ward, my husband, is it on YouTube?
What?
This presentation.
Tonight?
No, ever.
I don't know. I have to go back and look.
Okay, we can probably get it up on YouTube. Mike's recording it, so hopefully we will.
It'll be on my website, morethanYouWantedToKnow.com. Go there, click links, and then go to On Freedom Road.
All right, morethanYouWantedToKnow.com. Click links and go to
Freedom Road.
On Freedom Road.
.info.
.info.
No. YouTube.
On YouTube.
On Freedom Road. YouTube.
On Freedom Road on YouTube, so we can find it. So yes, it is on YouTube, or it will be soon. I'm sure that my trackers, my McCain trackers probably have it up somewhere. My American Bridge trackers probably have it up somewhere. They tape me either out in the open, or they try to sneak and tape me, but hopefully they do.
I have a question. I loved your ad for where they interviewed you with all the questions. It was great. You never mentioned education, and you didn't mention it tonight. Education is the most important item, because everything else you mentioned will come around again if we don't, I hate to use the word, indoctrinate them, the people, with the right education.
I agree that education is very, very important.
So, excuse me, how come you fought it at the state level?
Because education is a state issue. It is not a federal issue. And so I'm going to try to come down because I feel very strange up there.
You were a Common Core person.
I was an anti-Common Core person, yes, anti-Common Core person. I fought it fiercely at the state level, and I will continue to fight it. I will continue to fight things like No Child Left Behind and Race to the Top, and the House Bill 5, which is No Child Left Behind plus Race to the Top on steroids. This federal government has no place in messing around in our education system. It's supposed to be left to the states and the localities.
That in your commercials now?
That education should be not be federal?
Yeah, anti-Common Core.
Yes, I've always been anti-Common Core.
But you didn't put it in the commercial.
The commercial can only be 30 seconds. I would love to. I would love to be able to have everything. I would love to be able to say the Arizona Grassroots Action PAC is full of baloney. I would love to say that John McCain is attacking my patriotic family. I would love to say that Obamacare has to go, we need full repeal, and talk all about my plan. I would love to talk about my veterans plan that I have to fix the VA. I'd love to talk about the state lands issue and returning those lands to the state, but I'm not going to be able to get it all into a 30-second ad, which is why I'm here with all of you, so you all can ask me the questions that you want to see. But I'm not opposed to putting education and saying that it's not a federal issue. I just don't know if there's time in the next 2 weeks and 6 days, 5 days to be able to get it out there.